Good morning, Veritas scientists. Today is Wednesday, May 6th, 2020. So you will probably get this at a later date, but here's our assignment that you can find in your Google Classroom. All right, so yesterday, the assignment from May 5th was we learned about metamorphosis. And just to review, metamorphosis is the change of shape during an animal's life. Okay, so some examples were that a caterpillar changes shape into an adult into a butterfly as it goes through its life cycle. A tadpole changes into a frog. Their body completely changes from a caterpillar to a butterfly and from a tadpole into a frog. That is called a complete metamorphosis. Their body went through a change over time. And just like metamorphic rocks, meta means time. Morph, just like Pokemon morph from one to another, morph means to change. So meta is time and morph is change. So metamorphosis is when an animal changes over time. Okay? So most creatures that go through metamorphosis are insects. Mammals do not go through metamorphosis. We're going to learn about the life cycles of mammals coming up next. But metamorphosis is mostly insects, but then there are some amphibians like frogs and toads and salamanders that also go through a metamorphosis. Okay, so there's a such thing as incomplete metamorphosis. So the difference between a complete metamorphosis is that they completely change, right? A caterpillar looks completely different when it turns into a butterfly, and a tadpole looks completely different when it turns into a frog. But if you think about an ant, you've ever seen those big carpenter ants that have wings on them, right? And you say, wait, hold on, why does that ant have wings? That's called an incomplete metamorphosis. Yes, they change from an ant into an ant with wings, but the only thing that really changes is that they grow wings, right? So the only change in an incomplete metamorphosis is that this little ant will just grow wings, and that will be the metamorphosis that it goes through. That's called an incomplete metamorphosis. But the majority of insects go through metamorphosis. That is a complete metamorphosis where they change completely from when they were young to when they are adults. Okay, so the question you were given yesterday was to draw a diagram that shows the different stages of frog metamorphosis using your background knowledge of frogs. Now, I didn't want to give you an example of this. I wanted to see, can you use what you know about frogs to help you see if you could draw a diagram that shows the different stages of frog metamorphosis. So, here's my model. It says stages of frog metamorphosis. So, we'll start here with frog eggs. The frog eggs then hatch into a tadpole. Okay, tadpoles swim underwater. They have gills so that they don't need to come up above the ground or above the water to breathe. Then they change by growing legs. It's still a tadpole, but they grow their hind legs, the ones in the back, first. So it still lives underwater. They got two legs growing off of them now. Then, this is actually a new word that I just learned, or maybe I learned it when I was a kid and forgot, but it's a froglet. A froglet is really a tadpole with four legs, and it still has part of its tadpole tail. But it now has it already had the two back legs. It now has two front, I guess you'd call them arms, right? They're arms. So that is a froglet, which will then eventually change completely into an adult frog. Now you can see that from when after they hatched into a tadpole, they look completely different as an adult frog. So this is a complete metamorphosis. Their change from tadpole to adult frog was a complete change. They look entirely different as a young tadpole than they do when they are an adult frog. Then the adult frog will lay eggs, and then the metamorphosis will start again for those eggs that hatch. All right, so I want to see yours. Send me yours in your Google Classroom. I'm excited to look and see if yours looks similar to this. All right, and now we have a question for you to think about for tomorrow. Or do it today, and we will go over it tomorrow. It says, draw a diagram that shows the 4 stages of butterfly metamorphosis. You must label the 4 stages. So egg, larva, pupa, and adult. Those are the 4 stages. You have to label each one in your diagram. And identify the name of the creature at each stage. For example, Which one is butterfly? Is that the egg, the larva, the pupa, or the adult? And I want you to give the name of the creature when it's a larva. What's the name of the creature when it's a pupa? And what's the name of the creature when it is an adult? All right, so that's it. We'll learn more about that tomorrow, and then we're going to continue moving into more typical life cycles of mammals and other animals. All righty, that's it. Have a great day, scientists. See you later.